Open for radio. Stay open.
If all this knowledge indeed gives us some sort of power, there's still...
Hey everybody, this is Larry aka Blue Man Rule with Open Forum Radio and Facetious, and I'm here to review the Technomancer. Technomancer is developed by Spiders Games, published by Focus Interactive. It released on June 28th, 2016 of this year on PC, PS4, and Xbox One. Now, the marketing for this game revolved around the game being a sci-fi adventure game. So I came into it thinking, hey, it's going to be kind of like a Mass Effect, and it kind of is. You play as Zachariah. You are an elite member of a class of warriors called the Technomancers. Now, what make the Technomancers different is that they can actually use electricity. They can either shoot it out through their hands, or they can infuse it in their weapons and use it that way. And as a Technomancer, this entire group is tasked with protecting a particular secret and getting the removed population that moved to Mars, getting them relocated back home to Earth. And so that's their job. That's pretty much the plot of the entire game. Now, I'll say I like this game, but have you ever played a game where you got exactly what you expected? That's exactly what the Technomancer is. It's exactly what I expected to be based off of all the stuff that I watched. So you have a ton of skills. So as a Technomancer, you have 3 different stances: a rogue, which uses a sword and a gun. You have a guardian, which uses a mace and a shield, and you have the warrior, which is pretty much a bow staff. And it's pretty cool. You can level up each different ability. They give you different buffs, like some make you stagger less, or actually allow you to disrupt other people or knock people down more often. And the moves all vary. The shield has a perfect counter, where if you press the block button at the exact time, you can actually counter someone and really knock them down to the ground and really put in some damage. The warrior stance with the bow staff actually has a really slick dodge where you kind of do like a cartwheel out of the way, and it'll slow down time, especially as you level up. There are a lot of skills in this, a lot of management trees in this game. We'll talk about that, but so that does that. And then the rogue does an actual roll out of the way and could combine knife attacks with gun attacks. And you will see as you progress through the game that some are way more effective against others, and you really do have to become pretty adept at all 3 stances in order to be efficient. Now, not only do you have your stance level up trees, but you also have 2 other trees. All right, so or 1 other tree at least. The other tree is like an attribute tree. So you have things to choose from, like power, stealth, strength. So I don't know why power and strength are in a different category. Agility and constitution. So you have all these different things that you can choose from, and all of them give you different levels and bonus up. And here's the thing: those are also actually gated at particular level caps. So once you hit a certain level, you can get 1 point to drop into something, and then 3 or 4 levels later, you can get another point to drop into something. And I believe I finished the game at level 43, maybe level 44 after it was all said and done. But at that point, there were no other, because the menu system in the game will tell you you're going to get another point at this level, and where I'm at now is just no numbers in there. So so you have a lot of things to manage in there. Not only that, then you have a lot of inventory management. So the inventory in the game really varies because you have so many different stances. Your major character, Zachariah, he actually can hold a lot of things and carries a lot of particular weapons. And the good thing about this game, or bad if you don't like it, but you as the player can manage the inventory and the gear, whether it be armor or weapons, of your party mates. And you can have a few party mates. There's Sean, who is kind of like your mentor in the Technomancer field. Scott, who is a crazy doctor. Amelia, who is a really tough lady. And Victor, who is kind of who also plays a different role in the game. Now, there are more characters, but these characters, certain characters, if you add them to your party, because you can have up to 2 members in your party, they actually give you particular buffs. So if I add Scott to the party, because I said he's a crazy scientist, then my science skill increases 1, and that's another set of skills that you can do, because you can either do lock picking, science, crafting, charisma. And so if you have these different people in the party who have lived certain lives, then they have the ability to give you enhance your proficiency in certain levels, but only when you have them active in your party. So there's a lot of juggling going on, but it's really good. Like it expects the player to be smart and handle it intelligently, and I think that it's very rewarding when you do so. Now, there's great voice acting on each character as well. So all the different characters in the game, there's pretty good voice acting and good writing for story arcs. So in this game, as I said, it's a lot like Mass Effect. Each character essentially has loyalty missions, and it raises their disposition toward you, and it improves your relationship. And the deeper you improve a relationship, the more bonuses you receive in and outside of battle. So the leveling system was well thought out, very well crafted. The menus, maybe not so easy to navigate. I would have liked more of a tab-based system, but it's nice. It's all in engine, and it just all makes sense. The combat, this is one game where I've never really heard someone really complain so much about the combat when it's really not Dark Souls hard or even Lords of the Fallen difficult. I own the Spiders game, Bound by Flame. I didn't finish it, but it was one of their prior games, and I like the concept of that as well. I just never got around to finish it, and I will probably go back and finish it after playing this game, because I like what they do. But the combat in this game, it's not really that difficult. You just really have to understand. Getting it down though it takes a while. You have to get the timing down. You have to really understand the differences between three classes, what you can do, and then you have to really pay attention to your enemies and what they can do. It is pretty difficult at one point in the game. The difficulty does spike. It did spike on like one of the sub bosses on a side mission, and man, that was really tough. I actually had to drop it down to easy for that side mission, but once I finished it and I remembered I had it on easy, I put it back to normal, and I didn't really have that much of an issue with the game's combat later on. But I will say, because the combat is balanced, but you never, as a player, you never actually feel adjusted to the combat. You feel like you're constantly learning, constantly improving the timing, constantly getting things down, trying to see if you can clear a room faster with this particular method. And I will say this is one game where the combat is truly intentional. When you go into battle, you have to have a game plan, and you have to really commit yourself to that battle. You're like, oh man, if I die here, then it's just gonna slow me down. I have to go back and worry about the load screen. And again, I don't know if I mentioned this, but I did play this on PC. So yeah, you never actually feel well adjusted to the combat, but it is an intentional interaction. As I mentioned, the game's engine, it's a new engine. It's called the Silk Engine. I think it had powered one or two of their games prior, but I had an issue with it performing consistently, and I ended up, I think, isolating to my PC. I think it's just I had poor system ventilation, and so what it would do, it would cause things to heat up, if you know what that is, and then everything gets juddery, and then frame rates drop dramatically. And the reason I know it was my airflow and not this particular game's engine, was because it would be juddery on other games that I knew ran perfectly fine, like Shadow Blade or The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, and I ran the Steam-based FPS counter, and it would average anywhere between 32 to up to 60 frames a second, just depending on what I was doing. If I was moving around, if it was a lot of combat, it was roughly about 40 on the average. At any given point, you can see it above 40. So that was more than acceptable for me. I think anything above 40 is really nice. 45 to me is a floor on PC, but yeah, I think if I had to explain and sum up this game, it is exactly what I thought it was going to be, which was an entertaining romp through Mars. And many people I know won't like this, and many people I know won't take the time to work through the difficulty in the combat. But I think if you can get through it, it's a solid 4 out of 5. I mean, and on the get it scale, that's a get it. I think that $60 is a lot for the game, but I think that once you get in and really start to understand what they're trying to do and can appreciate all the voice acting, the complex inventory system, the crafting system, the several upgrade systems, then I think you really understand what this game is all about. But there really is good voice acting, great writing for plots, loyalty missions, things like that. I am a little disappointed because in one of the trailers for this game there was a romantic option, and even though I thought I'd risen my favor up as high as I can go with all my crew members, I only got proposition once, and was by one person that I really didn't want to. And there were two that I could have went with, but neither one I guess felt that way. But it is, I really enjoyed the Technomancer, so check it out if you get a shot. Pick it up. Again, the Technomancer, developed by Spiders Games, published by Focus Interactive. Go check it out. I did receive this copy for review. I wanted to let everyone know that. And those are my unbiased opinions. Hey, thanks for watching and listening to Blue Reviews, the Technomancer. Everybody, check me out over at performradio.com. Check out the video podcast Facetious with me and my boy Mike, aka Scarfinger. And check out all the other shows at Perform Radio. I'm pretty sure you'll find something you like. All right, thanks for watching and listening. Stay open.
Open for radio.
What community sounds like.